This stage of the event planning process tackles the where and the what, as in where will this event be held and what will it involve. A successful event has the perfect venue and agenda to achieve the client's business objective. Based on the strategic planning, where does it make sense to hold the event? If it's an executive roundtable for a dozen East Coast CEOs, maybe you should book an exclusive New York restaurant. Bring on the canapes. If, on the other hand, you're organizing a training conference for 1,000 salespeople, you'll need a hotel or convention center with large ballrooms and multiple breakout rooms, not to mention places where everyone can eat. Venue selection often requires site visits. If the event is new to KCI, if it's an executive event, in other words, VIP, or if the venue is one we haven't used before, Kimberly or one of the senior account managers may fly out to see it with their own eyes. Hey, it's a tough job, but someone's gotta do it. KCI has hosted events at golf clubs, restaurants, hotels, convention centers, luxury resorts, corporate offices, baseball stadiums, you name it. Typically, we source 4 or 5 venue options for an event and review them internally before making a recommendation to our client. In the case of our lead-generating event, we want to look for a venue that's appropriate for a larger group of 150 to 200 people, with additional areas suitable for networking. The location needs to have that wow factor to impress and draw attendees in, but we need to balance cool and hip with polished and practical to allow real business to get done. When sourcing venues, you'll start by researching them online and then calling for further information. The people you speak to will have titles like Director of Conferences and Events or Manager Corporate Sales. This is the time to ask about the catering and audio-visual solutions the venue offers on-site. You'll often hear us refer to catering as F&B for food and beverage. Once we've booked the venue, we'll provide a list of food and beverage options to the client, including our recommendations. If you've found the perfect venue, but they don't have catering or AV, no problem. Resourceful KCIer that you are, you'll bring in outside vendors. For any given event, you may need to hire companies to provide food, transportation, AV, signage, decor, graphic design, web design, or promotional giveaway items. You'll stay in touch with your venue, catering, and AV contacts throughout the registration process as you finalize the number of attendees, learn about special dietary needs, and receive requests from any speakers about their technology needs. Oh, right, speakers. Depending on the program, there may be guest speakers who need to actually say or do something at the event. Next, we'll discuss program management, which includes agenda, speakers, and executive care. The purpose of program management is to figure out what guests will do at the event and how those activities will support the client's business objective. In our Innovation Forum example, the guests were coming to hear from a notable keynote speaker, one of today's biggest thought leaders. But the goal of the event was to build relationships with executives and generate insight and interest into the client's products and solutions. So we also created lots of opportunities for the guests to speak to the client's senior leaders throughout the day, during hands-on workshops and provocative conversations with industry peers. When creating an event agenda or program, we ask ourselves, what does the client want attendees to learn or do? Who should speak to attendees, and what will they say? When should each element of the agenda happen? Even though you'll keep finessing the agenda right up to the last minute, you need the big picture sketched out early on. Guests need to know why they should bother attending this event. What's in it for them? So before you can even send invitations, you need your Olympic swimmers, former U.S. Secretaries of State, or client senior leaders confirmed as speakers. And you need the agenda finalized down to the hour, and often to the minute, before sending guests their reminder to attend. An important element of program management is speaker management. Speaker management involves more than just asking or paying someone to speak at your event. If KCI is engaged in this, we'll give speakers briefing documents outlining the event and their role in it. We work with them to determine their technology needs. We organize dry runs of their presentations. We give them directions for getting to the event, including parking directions and location of washrooms. And we amalgamate all the presentations into single files. Someone speaking at a KCI event will always know what they're talking about, how long they've got, who's going to be in the audience, and how to get themselves there. Another service KCI offers related to program management is executive care. Executive care involves handling senior leaders' every need with respect to an event: travel and security, lodging, dining, meeting or office space, you name it. Executives' time is valuable. The CEO of a multinational corporation shouldn't spend time wondering how to get to your event or where he can find a quiet place to take a call. Our job is to free his time so he can focus on making sales or creating fancy schmancy new products. KCI is known for this white glove approach to executive care. We anticipate every need. For example, we'll find out how an executive takes her coffee and have that coffee waiting in the car taking her to the event. Or we'll proactively reserve a meeting or office space where the executive can conduct important business while they're still at the event. With the agenda confirmed, the speakers ready, and the executive settled, it's go time. The event is finally here, and now it's time to manage OnSite Logistics. Just like stage directors with their script on opening night and coaches with their playbook on game day, we rely on our event running order, or show flow, as a critical guide of all the logistics for the live event. Based on the statement of work, KCI may do any of the following the day of the event: put up signage and decor, set up registration booths and displays, coordinate lighting, sound, music, AV, register guests at the registration desk, print out name tags for last-minute registrants, capture detailed records of all attendees for accurate follow-up, welcome and prep speakers, print out presentations or handouts, support executives any way necessary, liaise with venue and catering contacts to ensure everything is working according to plan. Regardless of whether KCI team members or the client's in-house staff handle the event on the ground, we are still responsible for making the event a success. The thing to remember is, KCI anticipates every possible need, and in order to execute flawlessly the day of the event, we handle a ton of event operations in advance. It's often a long day, or week, depending on the event, but we love it. There's nothing as satisfying as kicking off your heels after a successful event and knowing the guests had a great time and our client is happy. But you're not quite done. The next and final video in our series will outline the follow-up we do after every KCI event.